I've coached hundreds of skinny guys, and 99% of them were making one of these 3 bulking mistakes. So if you're still not gaining weight, this is why. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Justin, I'm an online fitness coach, and I specialize in helping skinny guys with a fast metabolism to bulk up and gain weight. I've been in the fitness industry for over half a decade, and on this channel, we go over all things bulking. So if you're trying to bulk up and gain weight, go ahead and subscribe. I've helped hundreds of guys go from underweight to jacked, and every single one was making at least one of these mistakes without even realizing it. Mistake number 1 is yo-yo dieting. Tons of skinny guys are eating a ton of food. They're eating as much as they can. They're eating like 4,000 calories, but then they're still not gaining weight. So if you're eating that much food and you're still not gaining weight, you're probably a victim of yo-yo diet. Now this is a very common thing. Tons of skinny guys, when they're trying to gain weight, they just eat everything in sight. They eat as much as they can. So on one day, they might eat up to 4,000 calories. But then the next day, because they just ate so much, they're still full from the first day and their appetite just vanishes. And then they're struggling to even get down 1,000 calories and the cycle repeats. And although they're eating an insane amount of food on day 1, the weekly average calorie intake is trash. So here's the fix. Instead of eating everything in sight and just stuffing your face with all the food in the world, you need to have a consistent eating schedule where you're eating between a 250 to a 500 calorie surplus every single day. Now it's super important that we're eating the same amount of calories every single day. This is really important because it's gonna allow us to eat enough to be in a calorie surplus without destroying our appetite and screwing up our whole weekly average. Now, if you're not really sure how to eat in a 250 to a 500 calorie surplus, what that means, how to actually put that into practice, you can monitor that number and adjust based on your weight fluctuation. So if you're not gaining any weight and you're eating about the same amount of food every day, that means that what you're eating right now is your maintenance calorie level. And you need to add an additional 250 to 500 calorie surplus to that number. And you want to be gaining on average about half a pound to a pound per week. So that's 2 to 4 pounds per month, which means if you do a 5-month bulk, you'll gain around 20 pounds. So to sum up, don't just eat everything in sight. You need to eat about the same amount of calories every single day at about a 250 to a 500 calorie surplus. That's gonna prevent yo-yo dieting and keep you on a consistent path to continuous weight gain. Mistake number 2 is going from 0 to 100. Most guys start their fitness journey when they hit rock bottom. There's usually some moment that kind of triggers you to start working out, start taking it seriously. Whether that be certain clothes don't fit, you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, something usually happens that triggers you to start your fitness journey. When this happens, people just set insane goals. They just turn into David Goggins all of a sudden, saying they're gonna wake up at 4 a.m., they're gonna go to the gym every day, then do cardio, then do this, that, and the other, and they just put way too much on their plate and set these insane goals that they're not gonna be able to do consistently. If you're not consistently going to the gym, you're not taking your diet seriously, you haven't really been consistent in fitness before, you can't expect yourself to be consistent doing 5 things all at once. You're just gonna get burned out. You might be able to keep this up for a week or 2, but you're gonna get burned out and it's not gonna lead to consistent growth. So instead of going from not really going to the gym to doing cardio, working out, waking up at 4 a.m., counting all your macros every single day, we wanna set small, achievable goals. And then once we've built consistency doing the small things, then we can habit stack and add more difficult tasks once we've built consistency. Mistake number 3 is eating the wrong foods. There's a ton of these bodybuilding meals, the fitness staples. You got chicken and rice, eggs, fish. Now, the reason these meals are so prevalent in the fitness industry is because they're super high in protein, which is great, right? That's awesome. But they're also really low in calories. Now this makes them the best weight loss food. This is the gold standard for weight loss. And because everybody's trying to lose weight, these meals are everywhere. But obviously, we're not trying to lose weight. So instead of pounding down all these weight loss foods like chicken breasts, eggs, fish, rice, broccoli, we want to focus on eating calorie-dense foods. So some of the most calorie-dense food groups is red meats. Okay, it's gonna be ground beef, steak, meatloaf, chorizo. Just think to yourself, the darker the meat, the better. Another one is dairy, okay? Stuff like cheese, milk, any full fat dairy product is gonna be high in calories. Another one is nuts, okay? Nuts are super high in healthy fats. Stuff like peanut butter and just pretty much any nut is gonna be super calorie dense. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying avoid vegetables, avoid fruit, avoid chicken, but just add calorie dense ingredients onto the food you're already eating. So instead of just having plain broccoli, add some cheese on there, add some calorie-dense dairy, right? Incorporate these calorie-dense ingredients into each meal. But if you don't have control over what you eat, if your parents are cooking for you or your wife is cooking for you, then adding in a high calorie shake is gonna be a game changer. Let me put it to you this way, all right? If right now you're not gaining any weight, but you're also not losing weight, that means you're eating at about maintenance level calories. So let's say, for example, you're eating 2,000 calories a day. Now, if you eat exactly how you've been eating, but then you just add one shake at the end of the day, that shake could be up to 1,000 calories, which means that you were at 2,000 calories, right? That's your maintenance calorie level. Then you add in a 1,000 calorie shake, now you're at a 1,000 calorie surplus. So just by adding in the shake, you can eat exactly how you've been eating and still gain a ton of weight. So go ahead and check this video out. This is my strawberry cheesecake mass gainer shake. It's delicious and it's 1,200 calories. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Peace.